Happy Monday. I slept asleep. I slept so hard last night. Alex and I went out in the air yesterday. We went out, we went to the park, we did a few errands and everything. And wow, the air was good yesterday. We stayed out for about an hour at the park, and then we had other things to do. And I mean, it was sort of quiet, so maybe they had a game yesterday. I didn't even look, I didn't check. I just wanted, we needed fresh air. It was kind of like a ghost town outside, except for some people. It was like very, very few people in the area that we went to, so it was like very, very quiet. So it just seemed like everybody had a place to be yesterday, which was good. It's actually good. We maybe ran into one other little small family at the park, and they didn't stay for long. So yesterday was definitely a different Sunday. I can't say that it was a normal Sunday. It was different, kind of different. But yeah, let's get on to it because I got a few messages. Yeah. No longer giving chances to people who you aren't truly attracted to. That's what should happen. We should no longer give chances to a maybe. If it's not a definite, I think you're wasting your time and you're wasting someone else's time. Okay. A Song of Degrees, 120. 120 Psalms. In my distress, I cried unto the Lord, and he heard me. Deliver my soul, O Lord, from lying lips and from a deceitful tongue. What shall be given unto thee, or what shall be done unto thee, thou false tongue? Sharp arrows of the mighty with coals of juniper. Woe is me that I sojourn in Mesech, that I dwell in the tents of Kedar. My soul have long dwelt with him that hateth peace. I am for peace, but when I speak, they are for war. Good morning, good morning, good morning. Hi. Happy Monday. Happy birthday to those who are having a birthday. Um, just all around the board, congratulations on anything that you've gotten, and congratulations on anything that you've lost, because it is written, it is in the plan, it is what it is. How's everybody? I've been reviewing some old school music all this weekend, but I've been looking at the new stuff that we got going on, and it's kind of messing up the old stuff that we had set up. And I was listening to "We're Gonna Have a Funky Good Time." Surely somebody caught that reel. We're gonna get higher. Yeah. We're gonna get higher. Yeah. We're gonna have a funky good time. Yeah. We're gonna have a funky good time. We're gonna have a funky good time. Now that's James Brown. That's the Godfather of Soul. You understand? So we're going into the future, but we also have to understand our past. We had some very, very polarizing men coming up, and they all had different silhouettes and different things of that nature. And we all were pulled to them in their natural state, their genuine state. So I think when it comes to relationships, I think where the word change is operative. We need to deal with the word change a little different. See, when we say change, I think we keep going back to the dictionary of change, change, change. Like when you say change, you want somebody to change up the whole entire makeup of themselves. But here, case in point, weren't you attracted to the genuine person? Weren't you attracted to the actual person before they started feeling like they had to change or adjust, or before the interaction happened and then these unnatural things made them curtail their natural desires or made you curtail your natural inclinations. So I think change when it comes to relationships is a little different. I think behave. Not so much as change, but behave. Because when you go to a job, let's just use job for an instance. When you go to a job, you don't really change. You don't change when you go to a job. You behave. You curtail your experience to what you need to be doing. Good morning. Good morning. Hi, Christy Smith. Good morning. When you go to a job, you don't change. You don't not cuss. You just don't cuss at the job. You don't not do things, you just don't do them at the job. So if you can behave at a job for what, 2 to 5 to 10 years, that says something a lot about your relationships. For God so loved the world and that he gave his one and only son, amen, that he did sacrifice his messenger for us because he knew that we would not do it. We did not know. So understanding that even when you go in traffic, when you get into your car, you don't change your car. I like my hair too. I don't know if it was white people's or not, but most of the time the good hair comes from the Indian people. So go educate yourself. Anyway, so I'm pretty sure you can find this anywhere. TikTok shops sell them, hair stores. Just keep a lookout for what fits you, not me. But yeah, so like we don't change when we get into our cars. We just follow rules. So it's not that we're not able to be in relationships. It's just that we don't like to behave. We don't like to follow rules. For some reason, we equate relationship with rebellion. Maybe because you had a jacked up relationship with your mom or your dad, or you were forced into jacked up relationships throughout your life. But if you were able to tether yourself to at least one healthy relationship, you'll get to see that no, you actually don't need to change yourself. You just need to behave and follow the rules of the situation that you've gotten yourself into. And then maybe you can love it. Because I know I've gone on certain jobs knowing that it's a job, so I'm just there to get paid. And I got there not loving it, knowing that I had to follow rules. I had to not do this. I had to not do that in order to get my paycheck and in order to level up, in order to get a promotion or able to get the shift that I wanted or to get the position that I wanted. Now, if we can apply this same exact thing, behavior change rules, to relationships, do you think we would actually, stay longer on the job? You know what I'm saying? Because even with the Kai Cenat situation, because I read it and I looked at it, and the young girl is pretty, and Kai Cenat is an attractive guy. However, this girl, long time ago, before she met him, she had desire. She had things that she liked. She had personality. She said she wanted a guy that was 6'1". She said she wanted a guy with waves. She said she wanted a guy that was light skinned. And Kai Cenat was none of those things. And a lot of times as we grow up, we curtail exactly what we wanted because of whatever details, whatever happened. Because, as life happens, things don't always go as you plan. But if you know what really gets your goat and what you're really attracted to, why would you get something different? Why would you get something less? Why would you get something you're not going to be able to follow the rules with? You're not going to be able to level up with. Why would you get something that you can't stay in line with to keep it? That's just like when you get a really, really good job. Why can't you follow the rules to keep the job when you so desire the money, and the money actually makes you live? We've got to start keeping ourselves in line. We've gotten so rogue. Even animals have a standard. Animals don't go so far off the Richter that they destroy the whole entire population or extinction. That's usually us that go so far off the Richter that another another species gets extinct. You understand? So it's not that we can't do relationships. It's not that we can't because we can get through traffic and we can get hired on jobs and we can drive cars and we can pick really awful football teams that never ever lose. I mean, never ever win. Sorry, they never ever win. We can pick baseball teams that but we choose them every time and pick their pick their memorabilia up and dress in them same colors. So why not? I was actually not raised by white people. I was definitely not raised by white people. It's just that I actually have an inclination to speak so that people can understand me. And because I don't stick to one small space in life, I actually go out and discover that there's other worlds besides mine, and I actually fit into them. I don't have to sit in a box, sit into a box that maybe you fit into, or I don't have to stay in a box. I'm able to move around. You get it? So yeah, and this is why I'm able to hold on to things longer. Some people think it's a flex to always have new stuff. Like, I never wear the same outfit twice. Okay, so you couldn't wash it? You don't know how to sew? You don't have a washing machine? Did you dirty it up? Did you get a hole in it? Did you take care of it? Like, thank you, dear. This is what I'm saying. Like, I don't have to try to be anything. You see what color I am, so what the hell? You think so much of yourself. You don't think at all. This is the thing. If you know that you're talking to a person who actually has a brain, you would understand that the color is what you see. I hear my voice. I hear what I'm saying. I hear the subject. For you to stick on color so much means that you have isolated your brain to one compartmentalization, and that's where you plan on staying, and that's great. And you need to go where that is where, that's appreciated. I didn't come here to talk about my colors. My colors. I didn't come here to gain nationality. I didn't come here for a green card, for damn sure. I didn't come here for you to hire me or fire me. I came here to have an intelligent conversation with like-minded people. Now, if you want to pick me apart, you can find your best baddie or your best friend or whatever you call the person who appreciates your annoyance, and you could pick them apart. But I'm not your woman. I'm not looking for you to hire me. I'm not looking for you to pay any of my bills because I've got that covered. Don't need it. Hi, good morning. So when a person tries to pick me apart, that makes me feel as though it's a energy that is insecure, so they need for me to be explaining so that they don't actually have to turn a mirror in on themselves and realize that they may be the reason why they don't got the person they want or they don't like the person they have. It's the reason why you're probably trying to get validation from strangers who probably never meet you. And if you do get the validation from strangers, there are people who probably don't have as many brain cells and they're not doing anything to regenerate them. And maybe you're probably just getting over a hangover and you like my aesthetics and you just want to annoy me because what you do is annoy beautiful women because you can't get one to stay in your bed so she can be annoyed. So you just want to do the thing. OnlyFans has things for that. I think you have to buy a subscription. Mister, I don't know what he's looking for. What did you lose? What you looking for? What did you lose? My dear. Good morning. Good morning. I have one literally in my bed right now. Right. I knew somebody did, right? Just have fun. Feed her before you let her go. Feed her, let her go. Do you know who your baby mama is? I don't know. Like, why are you in my business? And my ex-husband knows exactly what child we discovered together. Me and my ex-husband. Yes, yes. Oh, no problem, Kanye. Great. How are you doing better? Are you feeling better? I don't know you either, but I do remember the convo we had. It was a little tumultuous, but hopefully you're okay. Hopefully you're okay. I speak so that people can understand, okay? I do. I speak so that people can understand. Now, I can go hood. I can go Latina. I could go Hogwarts. You know what I'm saying? Like I can do it. It's just I speak so that people can understand. I have Aussies. I have people from the UK. I have South Africa here. I have Kenya here. I've gotten some Russians, Indonesia. Everybody's been here. Canada's been here. Shout out to Joe Rolla again. Yeah, everybody's here. And I be in the hood, you know what I'm saying? Nah, but I try not to go there because y'all think it's cute. The way you coming at me, you probably think it's cute to annoy me. You want to see my nose wrinkle and all that. But I'm not your woman. You're not going to be taking me to go get my coffee and make me feel good and buy me a puppy in fluffy slippers when you get on my nerves. So go get on somebody else's nerves. Ay, good morning, puppy. Morning, Puerto Ricans. Good morning, la taquiere, la taquera. Good morning, puppy. Mi amor. Grand rising, grand standing, bitch rising. Hello, hello, hello. um, Ni hao. Ni hao. Good morning. Ni hao. How is everybody? Ah, my monster. Ah. Why you come over here wanting to be attacked? Then you don't want to laugh out loud. See, now this is what I gotta balance between the tickling. But what's great is if I get him to, he'll go do his trampoline. Like he was so tired, I heard him snoring from down the hallway. For goodness sakes, he didn't join me in the bed last night. I was so glad because I just wanted to sleep. That night air was so good yesterday. What? He would wait until I go live. He did not bother me all morning. So yeah. So I was talking about change and how sometimes when we use change, it's scary because why would I change for you when you wanted me? You were attracted to me as I was. So I think it becomes a thing of behavior and the choice of right and wrong and knowing what the rules were and having the conversation. Why do you what? He's an ear tickler. Capricorns are ear ticklers. Yes, it's definitely better, but I still feel like you're actually trying to help people. I'm not a bad person, and I really do want to help people because if I help people, I also help me. Because I'm also trying to understand why people behave that way and what makes them think that being selfish, mean, manipulative people means that they deserve unconditional love when I can't even get unconditional understanding. Go away. Stop. I was holding out. I was trying to wait until I put him in front of the breakfast table, but he wants to be with mama this morning. Can you help? We're friends. But I love him so much. I just got to keep him on the straight and narrow because he gets into the snacks. We did have an interaction at the playground yesterday. There was a little girl, and she was on his favorite swing at the playground, and this was a teaching moment. He broke out crying alligator tears because the little girl was on the toy, but she was there with her mom and her dad, and there's other things at the playground. So I told him, I said, look, I get it. She's on your favorite thing, and she's never here when we get to this playground. You're always here, and you always get the chance. We'll go, we'll play with other equipment, and when they're finished, we'll come back. He did not. He did not. Actually had to walk him down and actually engage him in playing on some other stuff for a while. And when we looked up, the kid had gone. So he had to exercise some kind of patience. And I actually had to use myself as a distraction so that he know, it's not always. Sometimes you just have to wait your turn. And it's crazy that we as adults still have to be taught that lesson. Sometimes you just have to wait your turn. It's not always going to be as the way you pictured it. I'm sure when he saw the colors from when we were walking down, oh my God, I'm going to get on my favorite toy. And that's what I pictured too. But we didn't know when we got there somebody else would be occupying the space. And for adults, they don't believe that they have to wait their turn. They want to make a phone call. They want to call a homeboy. They want to call a homegirl. They want to call in a favor. They want to do all sorts of manipulative things instead of just wait your turn. Wait your turn, okay? Wait your turn. Like, I got a word again. So yeah, sometimes we just gotta wait our turns and stop being shitty adults with connections. Like really? Imagine, this is the big people playground. I'm gonna call it the people playground is the club, right? That's why I stopped going there because I don't. You guys don't play fair. You don't play right. And God forbid the ugly kid or the rich kid shows up on the playground. You guys really are shitty kids. I would have hated to park my big wheel around you guys. You guys would have split my tire on purpose or stolen one of the small tires. Haters. I think that's how my skip it got broke. They saw me in my rhythm, and I had a rhythm with my skip it, and they were like, no, she's going to steal the boyfriend. Is this really how this shit starts? So juvenile. Imagine how many men and women that you've known who used to play in the sandbox with, who used to play in the alley with the crates and the carts and the basketball hoops, that still act like that. And they've become pissy adults who still act like that, except now they know how to write letters to judges and get lawyers and really do jacked up stuff. When you the worst you had to worry about was them going and telling their mother or their father or their big brother. But now if they tell their mother or their father or their big brothers, them jerks are nurses and doctors and lawyers and supposed to be what, pillars of the community, or there's something like the mayor, and they're using their they're using their connections to do shitty shit like circumvent relationships. Like what a maroon. Buzz Bunny said it. Daffy Duck said it. And so did Porky Pig. That's all, that's all, that's all, folks. And then you get to these guys who just refuse to let up. They've got to be seen. And I mean, Alex is one of those guys. I just hope that he finds a woman that wants, that reciprocates, because I'm going to have to teach him a lot. Let the girl go. If she doesn't want you, let her go. You can't force a person to be with you. And that's the same for men. Like, I've seen some really, I ain't gonna lie, some gorgeous men. And I know that there are women that are like doing their tires, putting sugar, like calling all their exes, posting pictures without permission. I know it. That's because you guys are giving out demon ding ding. You guys are hitting the bottom of that stuff and you need to not, especially when you are only surface level. Why are you digging so deep in this human being? And furthermore, why are you even digging at all? Like, stop it. Stop giving your best back skills to a person who you don't really want to be with past the moment. Like, let's just reel it back a little bit. You know that once you open up, she's accepting everything that you're giving to her. So why get her to open up? Because you're going to reap all of what you sown, and you have no idea what's in the bottom of that thing that you just hit. Like, I remember watching a movie and it said, he was like, "Is there something in the bottom of it?" Yes, that's the demons you just tapped on. You just woke them up. And you're so surprised now she's chasing you around your car in your house and trying to procreate with you. Now you got to put what? Hot sauce? You got to do a drink. You've got to put hot sauce in your exposed condom. But you gave it to her willingly. So do not say that a woman is put her in a situation when men are definitely the same. They're the same. It's just that we have different results. We have to leave with the kid and you leave us with the kid. However, there are some consequences to that, especially because it's a thing it's called DNA, and we have such good like electronics and AI nowadays, and good Facebook detectives. And if we have good Facebook detectives, imagine how good the FBI has gotten through the Facebook detectives. So now they can really find out who you nutted in and who that baby. Facial recognition is going to start being the new paternity test. Y'all keep playing around. You want to stay on them games? Them games are actually learning you at a faster rate because you're on the game a lot longer than we're on the phone. Mind you, you're playing Call of Duty for sometimes 4 and 6 hours. Do you know how much information is being spread throughout 6 or 7 different lines? And not to mention the information that's being taken from your gaming patterns and your button patterns. But that's another, I'm sorry, that was the geek in me that fell out. I'm just really good at pattern recognition. So this is how they get you. So I'm just saying from the basics of things, if you can hold a job, if you can stop at that red light after you just like smoked a bunch of weed and drank a bunch of liquor, and some of you do booger sugar, and I've seen a junkie like stop at a light. So, and they go to work too and they function. I've seen that. So what I'm saying is, if we can do all these other things, why can't we function in a relationship? Because now that I'm thinking about it, like some of the longest standing relationships were between two people who were addicted, and they stuck to each other like Chuck. I don't even think they were having sex for even at least 10 years, but they stuck to each other like Chuck. And I swear, if he bought a rock, she would just grow out of the concrete, come out of the alley like, "You seen him?" And you'd be like, "Haney went that way." Brenda went that way. For those who know, they know that relationship. And I'm telling you, they probably still together if nobody passed to this day. Matter of fact, I think Haney did pass. But yeah, when you see one, you're seeing the other. And if they could figure out a relationship, why can't we figure out a relationship? It's actually a necessity. It's getting to be a necessity because through the idiocracy that's been spread about, it's almost like the fate of the dodo bird is about to happen. It's a small tweak, but instead of people get it, they'd rather just fight to the death. And I don't want to fight you guys to the death. I remember having a good relationship I remember having a good relationship. I remember where we used to actually kind of like each other and love each other, like around the time when we had like Rainbow Bright and the glowworms. I think we used to kind of like each other. When we had like Strawberry Shortcake, I think we were on to something. Um, we had like dolls that we could smell and they smelled like chocolate or vanilla and stuff like that. I think that was like a really great time. I think we had sensory. We still had economics class. I think that was like the last year or two of economics class when we really had sensory stuff. The box had just changed to, I think it was bricks, or it was like a black and white or like a denim background. You know, the box where you had to call in and try to request. It was like the TV version of 92Q, and we still had like music videos like before they turned into short porn Tubi movies, like that part before we, like when we had like standing in the rain and like raw linen, raw cotton, crying in the rain, dropping to your knees with a vest on, like a little bit before waiting to exhale. Oh boy, I come from a great time where we had penny candy stores, and it actually was a penny. Like, I think things went wrong when they turned penny candy into 2 cent candy. I was like, and it still had 1 cent on it. Somebody's hanging in there with me because they remember there was a good time where onion pickles, like if you wanted your lips to really look cute, you got an onion pickle and you ate it till it turned purple and your lips were like almost translucent. And you hung out at the park, and the girls sat on the swings and talked about the guys that they had a crush on, and the guys at the basketball court tried their best to, do a layup, even though they couldn't. But it looked good. The form looked good because the girls, and the girls really weren't worried about you actually making it in there. They just wanted to see your effort. Like, we used to actually put effort into like schmoozing. We used to put effort. Now we're like, I'm gonna hijack this person's feelings. I'm gonna do this and I'm gonna do that and I'm gonna hijack it. Like, what happened to the gentle flirtations and the chemistry? Do we even do that anymore? Or do we just plot and plan and scheme? I blame the soap operas. Somebody put the A Team and the soap operas together and came up with this bullshit that we call adulthood now. Because it's too much. It's too much. What happened to, remember that? I don't know. I never knew how to make that origami thing where they used to do this like that and this like that. You know what I'm talking about? It's the paper thing where they say, pick one and that'll be your boyfriend. Do you like them? Yes or no? And then you pick one and then you do it and then you unfold the flap and see. Like, that was our tarot card. That was our mystery blackball back in the day. We used to do that. If you like him. And I never learned how to fold a piece of paper like that. But we did do origami. It was origami. I remember they used to do. We had some good waves of humanity, and they always crash by somebody wanting to be gooder than the other. What happened to us? The mechanisms. We went in the house, we watched Arnold Schwarzenegger, we watched what? We watched Jamie Lee Curtis, and all while we were doing that, some crazy fool who couldn't naturally get a woman's attention or couldn't naturally get a man's attention decided that they were going to apply the machines to dating. And now we've got this shit tank. Only date the people who you like and who like you. If you have to scheme, plot, damn near put somebody in dangerous situations in order to have them, let it go. They're going to hate you. They're going to look at you with utter disgust. because you didn't let it happen naturally. You forced your hand. You put a person in a situation to manipulate them. Do you think they're going to actually gain any appreciation for you? You gave them no other choice. So some people didn't have a choice in slavery and then they chose to die because they didn't want to do it. No means no. Men, when it comes to men, if that man says no, let him go. Leave him alone. You can't force him into it. I don't care if you had 50 kids by him. I don't care if the man says no, he doesn't want it. Let it go. You don't have a right. No one has the right to abuse another person for any reason at all. Let people live. Go and be where you should be, where it's nice, where it's not forced, where nobody's life is being altered by the decision, okay? And if we should get some of this stuff right, do you know we might have a chance of raising some more halfway decent kids? Because there are some out here. We just need more of them to offset the other ones, to at least be able to knock them over the head and teach them, hey, that's not cool. You're messing up things for our children. Like, and the beat goes on. Like, each generation needs a bunch of people to set the thing straight. Unfortunately, but fortunately, I fell into the crook of things. I didn't know. At one time, I needed instruction, and now I'm giving it. So here we go. I'm paying it forward. Let's just make it a little bit easier. And let's get some tarot going. Who we got out here? Who we got out here? I started off in Gemini and only did like 4 signs, but I covered all 4 elements. I did, because all 4 elements are important. I seen a bonfire. I seen a bonfire outside yesterday by the main road there. And the people who are having a bonfire were the people who will be outside. It was like an open air market that's basically being left clear so that they can stay warm outside, so that they could be outside doing what they do. Now, I think sometimes they watch the game. Oh, yeah, 3 times before I got out of bed. Feels great. Stomach's flat. Now, anyway, yeah, and I didn't even have my coffee yet. That's going to be a plus. Yeah. So, yeah. So they be having bonfires and things of that nature. And I think it's great that we're utilizing the space for good things. But yeah, let's just give less space to the stuff that shouldn't be done in front of the kids. Because I mean, I don't like it when I'm outside and some guy's randomly nodding in front of my kid. Like, go somewheres with that, please. Like, we're out trying to enjoy the world here. You're trying to destroy your own world. Do it in the privacy of your own home or wherever you can. But we'd like to enjoy the aesthetics of the place without seeing you nod for 10 or 20 minutes. I don't know if it's your grandma or your granddad, but make a better decision and go somewhere and stop being a billboard for the next generation. They don't need to see this. They don't. Everybody has a vice or whatever. And albeit people are not just sitting there looking like such in front of other people. So if you have that vice, please be mindful. Other people do not need to see it. It doesn't look good. It doesn't look good on you. And I hope, I'm sorry that your life went such a way, but other people don't need to see it. The kids don't need to see it. They don't need to see it, okay? Be mindful. I don't care what state you're in. I don't care if it's tranquilizers, that meth, the sugar, the rocks, whatever. The result of it is almost always the same. It's very unattractive and it's not becoming. So as much as I would love to say stop and have that happen, it's not reality. But what I can ask is to you be mindful to the generation below you. Be mindful to your kids. Be mindful to your aunts, your nieces, your nephews, people around you that do not partake. It is a very unattractive sight to see the result in which your vice gives you. It's unbecoming and it's tiresome. It's exhausted. It makes the other people in the world that are functioning a little differently have to stop and give you so much more space and so much more resources. And all in all, it's like you've got some people on alert. People have to nail their things down. They can't trust. They can't, and you've scarred some people who love you and they don't want to see you poison yourself, but you do it every day. And you want people to look at you after you've done this thing to yourself. So it's very, very, very unfair to the world when you do this. And it's very unfair to you when you do that. So I know it's unreal to ask you to just stop because we know that there are things that took you there. There are disappointments and things in your life that made that thing the answer for you. But know that even though that might be your temporary answer for you, nobody wants to see that test. Nobody wants to see you go through that test that you decided to pick up. Okay? Just be mindful. And we all love you. We just want to see a better you, even if you don't want to see a better you yourself. A better you fits this world. Okay, so you're not lost. We still love you. We just don't want to see you torture yourself. Okay, so when you come out of the nod and the little baby looking at you funny and the woman across the street or the man or whatever, it's not always from pure disgust. Sometimes people just don't understand how or why. And it's not for them to, but if you weren't out in public, they wouldn't get a chance to give you those looks. Now, would they? Two and two together. So, yeah, I just wanted to say that because a lot of us have families that have fallen victim to substance abuse. And I unfortunately am in an area where I see it so much. It's very disheartening. I don't like to sit outside because the amount of psychosis and the absence of the mind. And you see people that are people's grandmothers and grandfathers and aunts and uncles and old high school heroes and people that people used to look up to out there doing very outlandish things. And you yearn for those days before they got into that, but it does nothing for you. They have to want it. They have to want it. So it's not all is lost. It's just whenever they get back or come to it, they have to want it. It's not for you to want it for them because it is an exhausting thing. They have to want it. Don't kill yourself trying to fix a person who does not want to be fixed. Love them as they are and release them. I said it. Yeah. All right. On the lighter note of things, yes, I have to go very, very high so that we can even out. The High Priestess, which is this is the way things should be. This is the law. This is her throne. This is where she plans on being. I'm going to darken the light a little bit so you can get less of a glare. Yeah. There it is. The High Priestess. Intuition, sacred knowledge, the subconscious, divine, feminine trust yourself, sensitivity, purity, high morals. Yes. So I guess this is me running my mouth for the last few minutes. And the chariot. So this is fast moving. So there is some fast moving influence. Maybe someone took heed and maybe somebody might share this video, like, subscribe, and share, please, so that we can get the message out there. Even if you don't want to say it yourself, I'll do it for you because some people need to hear it. And yes, hopefully you are having enough fiber in your situation and you're not eating too much processed meat. If not, make sure you're having your fruit and your vegetables. Fruits are just as important as vegetables. The vegetables give you the fiber and they give you the soluble fiber but the fruit gives you the water and the vitamins and the antioxidants that you need to pass out that fiber. So if you're not going a few times a day, I'm going to ask you, what's up your paper? You need to be pooping at least 2 or 3 times, especially during this holiday where we're going to be sitting on heavier foods, soups and, strombolis and sorts of that nature. Oh, I love me a good Italian food. Minestrone. If you're having minestrone, I know you had your vegetables, so definitely take part in some fruit, some plums, some peaches, some watermelon. Did you know that cucumbers are classified as fruit due to the amount of water? So it's like a long less flavored watermelon, a cucumber and a watermelon. If you plant them together, you'll get a good hybrid. It'll be nice. It'll be fun. It'll be different colors. It'll definitely be that. Yep. So let's get on into it. Let's see what energy comes straight out. Good morning, good morning, good morning. Queen of Pentacles, we have a Capricorn and Sag. So we have fire and earth here. Scorching the earth much? Are we making bricks? Are we making mortar? Are we doing pottery? I hope it's a great one. All right, so Queen of Pentacles, the answer is yes to any questions you might have that might have popped up in your head. Nurturing, practical, providing financially a working parent. So someone is definitely nurturing, very practical, and is a working parent. So someone's going either back to work today or they are working on either their home or their job. Someone's running a daycare and they're really good at it. I've got to find a daycare. I only need a daycare, like a as is daycare. But yeah, Queen of Pentacles, there we have it. You're nurturing, you're providing. Everything seems to be going good. I like this energy. It feels good. Everybody is in a place, and the place is everybody. All right, so now we have the Three of Wands, preparation, progress, foresight, enterprise, expansion, overseas opportunities. As we are nurturing, oh boy, we have a nurturing family. We have preparation. So it looks like there is family wealth going on, family wealth accumulation, or there's family wealth planning. Someone is planning to put their family on the map. Someone is actually gathering family resources, and there might be opportunities both foreign and domestic. Okay, so we're definitely looking up. So that's Capricorn, Sagittarius, Aries energy, and now we have Virgo energy coming out with the Eight of Pentacles, Earth. We have 3 yeses on the board. That is yes. We've got a 38 and 83, which comes up to an 11, and 11 comes up to 2. So there's balance and equal give and take, reciprocity. There's hard work and mastering in the Eight of Coins, Pentacles. So there's a lot of work going into it. There's a lot of focus. Someone is definitely building a production or something of that sort. This is definitely either business or family. It's a great foundation and it looks pretty good. 83 is a great number, and so is 38. Are you 38? Or someone was born in 83. Either way, someone's in their 40s. And this is a good time to not go through a midlife crisis. This is a good time to go through a midlife recon. See what you got and see what you don't want. All right, going forward, like I said, this is Sagittarius, Capricorn, Aries, Virgo energy. So we have a lot of fire and we have a lot of earth. Fire and earth, which is passionate, grounded, which is good because you do not need to be off in the dream state. This is going to be brought into reality, and this is a very solid decision. And this is going to be a very passionate decision. So there might be some snapping, there might be some harsh words, but business doesn't go without the two. Definitely stick to your guns. This is going to work. Hope this helps. Good morning. I hope this helps. Definitely. Somebody's definitely going into business, be it family or romantic. Someone's setting up the stage to actually go into a very good fulfillment. This is good. This is great. And 11, you're past the 10, which means you have a little bit of extra. Someone's cup is going to be overflowing, so they might be able to pick up more business, more things. No, it's actually not my natural eye color. Kind of like a light brown. So when I put it with this gray, it changes. Sometimes it looks blue and sometimes it looks still gray. All right, so Gemini lovers out here, we got Gemini energy out here, and it's a number of the 6. I always say we've got a little bit of 6 personalities, which is very even, which means that we're able to bounce the ideas back and forth. Yes, I'm reading cards, pink tarot to be exact. All right, so the answer is yes. Love, harmony, relationships, union, partnership, sexuality, passion, values, alignment, deep love, a choice, the strength of 2 together. So there is a partnership that is being offered, or that is on the table. You only need to reach out and grab it if that is what you want. Some people are ready for relationships. Some people know that they are not ready for a relationship. I don't know. It depends on your state and your city or your TikTok or whatever. I don't know what your prices are, but I actually did a discount because I am a average shopper. So yeah, I don't know what you're going to pay. Right now, we have lovers out. We have Gemini energy, which is the air sign. And the answer is yes to the question that is on your mind. This is love, harmony, relationships, union, partnership, sexuality, passion, values, alignment, deep love, a choice, the strength of two together. So there is no, this is a general reading. I apologize if I didn't answer that question earlier. Um so in a general consensus, there are a lot of people that are looking for love. Hopefully they are looking for love in the right places. A lot of a realignment is going on. There are people that are unlearning the red pill shit, and I said it the way I wanted to say it. There are a lot of people that are unlearning that, and let's just not put it on men. There are women that operate in the red pill, even though they do not understand that that is misogynistic to feel like you are the only woman in the room. That is misogynistic to feel like that you should be able to pit people against one another for your outcome. It is very misogynistic to just be male centered and not realize that when you are male centering, you are saying that you are willing to do things at the expense of women and their safety. So definitely some people are unlearning those catty and those novel traits that does set the situation up for calamity. We have to unlearn that this person, this group doesn't need to be protected, that group doesn't need to be protected. Everyone should feel safe. Everyone should be able to come out and exist without the threat of another person. And if there should be a threat of another person, the threat should be bigger that that person will be punished. That's not safe than the person that is that safety is being compromised, just still being not safe. You understand? So right now we're at an uneven kill where the suspect is safer than the victim. And we have to change those things. The victim should be safer than the suspect. It's unfortunate because there are way more suspects trying to hide the fact that they are all suspects. So they are willing to traumatize victims in order to not look like a suspect. But the issue is do not become a suspect. Nobody's looking at that. That's the one thing nobody's trying to pay attention to. Like, we have a victim and we have a suspect. If we had less suspects, we'd have less victims. And that is the math. Okay, so in Gemini, we have lovers. So this is in the general collective. So I want you to know, this is the general collective. There are a lot of people who are seeking love. However, a lot of people have lost the way because we have people that are going for people that they have no intentions of loving. We have people that are going with people just to get money. We have people that are going with people just to have a place to stay. And we have people that are inherently sex addicts. And everybody wants to get laid. Everybody wants to get paid. The problem is there are people that don't know how to get paid. So they do a lot of delaying. And we have a lot of people that don't know how to get laid. So they do a lot of the paying. And it's throwing things off kilter. We have a lot of men complaining about women being prostitutes, but then we have a lot of women being prostitutes, and then we have a lot of men paying because they don't want to be in a relationship. They want to be with a prostitute. So you guys are creating the market. You guys are creating the situation and then complaining about the situation, especially when your daughter or your significant other ends up in that situation. Because I've met more men that were getting paid for sex this year than not. Like, there are a lot of men that are being kept by women, and the women that are keeping the men are doing fraud and scamming and boosting and signing papers that they have no idea what they're signing, and it's just a bunch of confusion. But like I said, for the Gemini lovers, we're trying to get back into balance, which means that it's a lot of trouble going to start before it stops. And then we've got the six, we've got another six, six, and six. So we've got a six of pentacles: giving, receiving, sharing wealth, generosity, charity, and sharing. This is what we're getting back into. This is what we're relearning. But a lot of, unfortunately, this is what the why the city is upside down every other night, is because we can't get to it before they basically turn in on themselves. For some reason, it's like the thieves are stealing from each other, and then they turn in on each other, and then they're turning each other in, and then they're telling on each other. So basically, if you're not in the mix, stay out of the mix. I guess it'll fix itself. And I was going to be like, what if that would have been another six, right? That's a nine. And we all know what the nine looks like upside down, but I'm not going to pull it. This is at the bottom of the deck. If I pull another six, it's not a six, but it's a nine. It's the Hermit. And this is exactly the information I just gave you prior to that. Okay. So I love it when a pull goes good. I was just saying, you guys need to go into hermit mode, stay out of the way, and let them fix their things, because of eventually, it's like a self cleaning oven. Sometimes you just gotta let it burn the extra out. Yeah. So, like I said, we had a six and a six. Six is the Lovers, Gemini. Six of Pentacles. That's Taurian energy, Gemini Taurian energy, and there can be a Taurian energy cusp, a Taurian Gemini energy cusp. And that's Earth and Air, which is good for flowers, which is good for growth. Ooh, yeah, good for growth. Earth and air. When you rotate the soil, when you rotate the dirt, which is basically what I just explained, when you rotate the dirt, it gives air to the fruition, and then you get chlorophyll, you get that, and then you get great flowers, and you get really good flowers with vibrant colors. So there's two sixes, which is the 12, which is a 3. A 9 was at the bottom of the deck, and is of Pentacles. Fruits of labor, rewards, luxury, self-sufficient, financial independence. This is at the bottom of the deck. This is what I said would be the outcome once we let everything turn in on itself. Like I said, it needs like a self-cleaning oven. We got to let these people get out of the way, because if we try to fight with them, or if we try to push them one way or another, we'll be in the mix, and then they'll try to eat us up. And we don't want to be eaten. And that's in the Bible. Why do you eat our people up as bread? Move our people out of the way and let them eat each other up. So, like I was saying about the fact that we're trying to get back to love, we're trying to get back to reciprocity and generosity. So for a lot of us, it's going to look like going into hermit mode. Not until after February. I want to graduate my class first. But yeah, the hermit mode. Yeah, I'm in college actually. No, it's actually one other person, but when we get off, like, there are other people that watch, okay? Yeah, so don't think that it's just for you, because we're early in the morning. When they get up, they will look for my live. So yeah, so now I'm asking you to go into hermit mode if you're not into the mix, if you're not into all this craziness that's in the streets. Definitely soul searching, introspection, contemplation, wisdom, truth seeking, being alone. Some people do not know how to be alone. You need to be able to keep your own self company, so that when you do actually get the company that you like, you'll appreciate it. You won't be so quick to throw it away. You'll actually try to invest in the company. And independence, inner guidance, meditation, consciousness. Yes. Yes, I'm glad you took the time to listen. And yeah, so, and this is a 9, and this is a 9. Didn't I tell you it was crazy? I was saying if it's another 6, but then another 9 came out. And what do 9s look like upside down? sixes, right? And so that's 18. And then that's 18, which turns into the 9, which breaks down to the 3. Because once you take this 9 and this 9 and you turn it into an 18, and then you put the 1 and the 8 together, it turns into a 9, right? And then you take my 6 and 6, which turns into a 12, which turns into a 3, right? And then you put the 3 and the 9 together, it's going to turn into another 3 because it's going to be 12. So 3, after all, 3 is the energy. Google the spiritual life. Look, I'm giving you homework. Google life path number 3, and then Google spiritual number 3, and see what it says. But like I said, I got 6s and 6s. I got the 9 of the Hermit. Then I got at the bottom of the deck the 9. 6 and 6 is 12. 1 plus 2 is 3, right? 1 plus 8 is 9. 3 plus 9 is 12. So either way, I kept going back to 3. I got 6s. I've got 2 9s. Everything brings me back to 3. So whatever it is, 3. 3 is the denomination. Pay attention. You're going to see 3s today. If this message is for you, you're going to see numbers in sequences of 3s. You're going to see triples. Things are going to happen 3 times. So just know that this message was for you when you start seeing the 3s. Look, I'm looking up. I got 3 people looking at me. The 3s are here, okay? Love you. Bye-bye. Divine union too. Make sure your lips aren't ashy for when you do meet the one. A good kiss is in order. We stop kissing. People are too nasty. Ugh. Mouthwash. Bye-bye.